Hi everybody, Judy here. I'm looking out my studio window and a big snowstorm is slowly moving in across the meadow and across my orchard. And before my lights go out, I think it'd be kind of fun to see if I can get this video done. What I'm doing today is a kind of fun project, and the first one, I'm going to show you what I did. The first one I did was this one. I used a little bit of what you call printmaking here, a little, I call it smurshing, and I drew a few leaves, used pen and ink, and I had a lot of fun with this one. And this one's going to make a very nice card. Now, I had never done this project before, so this was the first time for me, but I was kind of disappointed that more of pink didn't show in the flowers. So the second one I did was this. And this is interesting. I did this on photo paper. The backing of photo paper is plastic in some cases, and I did this and it was entirely different. And it wasn't all purple. I was able to figure out how to keep the pink going. I went in later, as I did on the other one, when it was dry, and I painted in leaves, and I painted in little brightly colored centers with fluorescent paints, and that's going to make a nice card too. The third one I did was beautiful, but I wasn't too fond of the leaves. So I decided I would do it again one more time. And I want to show you how I did this. This one's still drying, so I used an ordinary produce bag, and I tied a knot on the end, and then I turned it inside out, and it created quite an interesting pattern. Then I blew it up with my mouth, tied it off, and this air holds quite a while, so it's not a problem. I mixed these colors. This is the pink and the purple that I'm putting together, and I remembered that purple tends to be dominant over pink, so I want a good share of this, so I just spread it out with an old credit card, kind of like that. Just kind of worked it in like that. A little bit like that. Nothing fancy. Spread it out a little bit so I get some coverage. And then I set this to the side. I've also got some green here, and I'm going to paint leaves in a little bit. Now the paper I'm using again is the back of some Office Depot photo paper. There's no writing on it or anything. And this is plastic coating, and I really, really like that. It's also great for alcohol inks. So let's get started with this. Maybe I should talk a little bit about the colors I'm using. I'm using an orange by Artist Loft, Liquitex green. It's for my leaves. Some beautiful bright colors like this purple. Now this is craft paint, and the rest of this is craft paint. Pink, a fluorescent orange, a fluorescent green, I may or may not use that, and a yellow. So let's get started on the flowers themselves. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bag and I'm going to place it directly on top of the paint, let it go smursh for a bit, lift it directly up. I'm going to turn it around. And then I'm going to place it somewhere on the paper, and same thing, okay? You want to just place it on the paper, push it down, do not twist it, bring it back up, and voila, you have a flower. Now I think I'm going to spread this around a little bit more. I need more coverage. I'm going to put a little more paint on here. Yeah, we didn't make quite enough. Okay. There. A little more purple. A little too pink for me. Come on. There we go. Alrighty, so let me try this again. Smersh this down on top of the palette. Place the bag back on the paper. Roll it around a little bit. Bring it directly up. Ooh! And you never get the same thing. Now I'm going to turn this because apparently this one side of the bag is not getting any paint. So put that down there again. Ooh, that's beautiful. Alrighty. No two are the same, are they? Put a little more pink on there. A little more purple. I just have to do one more flower here. Actually, it's supposed to do 5, right? Alrighty, I think I'll do one way over here, sort of away from it. There, I like that. There, hope you can see that. See how nice that looks? So I'm not going to do anything more to this one. I'm going to leave this as it is. And I had a little green out on my palette, if you remember, and I'm just going to paint some leaves in. And I want to make these nice and generous because ones I did in the past were extremely small. So I'm just going to paint these in and let it go at that. Okay, can you see that? Yeah, that looks good. These are kind of different. I'm not sure. I think I'll start here. Doesn't lend itself well to leaves, I don't think. They're so different, all of them. But they all look good in the end. And you have finished painting in a matter of minutes. It's funny when you turn it around, it looks entirely different. I think I need a leaf right there. I'll move this down where you can see it. See, I think I need one right here. Just to balance it out a little bit. think I'll do it at an angle. Run it off the page. Now, what I could do here, but what I will do is, let me see. I think what I'll do is go ahead and put the yellow center in, and put the yellow centers in, and I'll touch them with a little orange. Okay. And I'm just going to dot them. Can you see that? Yes, you can. You know, shooting with the iPad, it works kind of like a iPhone. It just gives you a slot to paint in. Weird. Okay, so I'm down here. I will do pretty much the same thing, like we're looking at the top of a flower. Okay. And then I want to take this down and do this one. Can you see that? You can. Okay. You know, I think I've been doing this, over a year now? And thinking that I would just use the iPad temporarily. And I took my camera out, and it wasn't as flexible, excuse me, as the iPad, so I think I'm just going to stick with that. I want to put a little bit more here, I think. All right. And as I look out my studio window, I watched the storm rolling in, and we're getting our snow now. It's supposed to snow very hard today, and then tomorrow it's going to be sunny. Just in time for me to go to town. Now, I'm going to give this a little brighter color. I want to put this on here. These are like my favorite combos. You know, you do purple, pink, yellow, green, and orange together. And it's just such a bright, cheerful combination. Let me get this brush clean. And I want to be very careful not to drag my hand across it and smear it, because it's all wet right now. So I kind of raise my hand up. Watch what this little bit of orange does. You don't want too much, but ooh, that storm is really coming in. Weatherman was right this time. On the day after tomorrow when I shop, I have a fellow artist coming over, and we're going to do alcohol inks together in my studio. It is so much better to paint with someone because they can give you feedback, or they can be an inspiration. If you only go with just your ideas, not a good thing. here we go. The last flower. Now I could come in with stems, but I really want to leave it up to your imagination. Gotta really glob this on. There. Okay, that's it. That's how you do that. Using a bag from the grocery store, produce section, and you can make these beautiful flowers. I can finish this up later with pen and ink if I want, and I may work on these leaves a little bit more and get a darker green going on them, but this is just a fun thing. Thank you for joining me in my studio, and you have a good day today. I'm going to go and enjoy the snow.